It's kind of a chilly, breezy day today, so I thought it would be the perfect day to do a little maintenance in the greenhouse. Several things that I want to get done. One of the first things I want to do is work on this window here. As you can see, it's open, and it's actually started opening on its own when it gets warm in here, which is really awesome. But as the day cools down, it doesn't close back up like it's supposed to. I need to do a little more research on exactly how to set this thing so it will work to close back up again. But before I do that, I have something I want to try. I put this door seal around the window to kind of seal it. I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's kind of like a tight fit right there. It rubs, and I'm kind of wondering if that might be part of the problem with it not being able to shut right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off, and then I'm going to try something a little different. Instead of putting it on the inside, I'm going to go put it on the outside, so that way when it closes, it will be covering the gap and it won't create the friction. Brooke came up with that idea, and I thought it was a very smart idea. So the first thing I'm going to do is take it off, if I can reach it. Might be kind of difficult with all these tomatoes right here. Okay, got it off. I bought a pack of new pieces, and I'm going to use those first and then fill in with the smaller pieces. I think the guineas think I'm crazy because they can hear me in here and they think I'm talking to myself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a piece of this right along this opening right here. But if you notice, this doesn't curve around and kind of like make a tight seal right here, so the air can still kind of blow into the crack. To solve that problem, I've decided to take another piece and lay it along this side just like that, and make sure it's away from this board right here so it doesn't catch when it opens and closes. Because if you look really closely, this little edge right here curves up, and if I lay this right here like that, it will stick up so that when I go to lay this piece on, it will kind of like form a seal, just like that. There, I think that will form a pretty good seal. Well, except for maybe right there where it could get hooked on a screw. There. I'll just take the scissors and just trim up the edge a little bit. There, just like that. So now we'll test it out, and I'll unhook it and let it open up. Looks like I might need to scoot this side out right here because it's still rubbing on the frame of the window. This stuff tends to shift just a little bit whenever you screw it in. There we go. So now I'll just leave it and see how it works and if it actually closes. And if not, then I'm going to have to do a little bit of adjustments on the opener thing. I plan to do this side the same way. I just need to buy more of the strips because I wasn't planning on using 2 strips on one side. The next thing I'd like to fix is this little gap right here. The door's not exactly square, so it sits really whopper-jawed. And so that's why there's the gap down there. So basically what I want to do is take a piece of this and just put it up to where it hits the bottom of the door. So that way when it's closed, it'll keep the cold air from leaking through that little crack. And it's not going to matter too much if it rubs on the door because I will just be able to push it open and close it anyway. So looks good because as you can see, there's a nice seal right there. So the next thing I'm going to do is, which is something that I should have done first, is fix the door so I don't get trapped in here anymore, because I've been trapped in here like 5 times now, and I've become good at getting out. It only takes me about 10 minutes to break out, but it's a time waster, and so I'm gonna do something to fix it and prevent it from happening. Okay, so my setup before was that I tied a string in this hole right here, then brought it up through here, and then tied it right here, and the string broke. So now I have this wire here, and we're going to do the same thing with the wire. Maybe if I can get it cut. Oh, there we go. There. Now we'll try it out.
Okay.
You have your phone?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yay, it works. There. Now that'll be so much better. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is start some more lettuce seeds. Since I got all of my lettuce planted the other day. Add a little water to this. Probably should have added the water before I added it to the tray. Might have made it a lot easier, but... I'm going to give this a minute or two to get soaked up, and then I will add the seeds. I've been planting this little gem lettuce, and it is really, really good. It has turned into one of our favorites. It's kind of like a romaine, but it's a smaller type, and it's really sweet and it's really good tasting. And they say it's very heat tolerant. I wasn't too successful growing it through the summer though. But this fall, since the weather's kind of cooled off a little bit, it has been one of the best lettuces I've ever had. Normally in the past, whenever I have planted lettuce, I usually will just sprinkle it and cover it up. But the last time that I planted lettuce, I actually poked holes in and tried to plant just a couple of seeds in each one. It takes a lot longer to plant it, but I think it makes it easier to kind of separate out and plant in the individual spots. Whoa, I definitely can't talk and do this at the same time. I got my rows all crooked. I'm going to start completely over. I have an egg carton here. I guess I should have showed you from the beginning. I have one of those flat egg cartons that they put in boxes. And so I'm trying to plant the lettuce in each of the little egg spots, and I keep getting off a little bit here. It's hard to tell where I'm at because I got the soil piled up so much. Oh, I poked through there. Well, I am still kind of off a little bit. I don't know where I messed up at, but oh well. Lettuce seeds are so small that it's really hard to plant. Just a few. Kind of ended up getting more in there than what I really want to plant in each one. But it's still easier than trying to thin out a whole entire massive amount of them. Okay, I think I got them all planted, and I'm just going to cover them up now. Then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray the plants in here. Some of the plants in here started showing signs of getting fungus and disease. So I started spraying them ever so often with a mix of sulfur and pyrethrins. And I really think that's been helping to keep the tomatoes looking healthy. First, before I spray, I'm going to grab this tomato right here. delicious. Not only does it help control the fungus, but it also helps control the mites and other small insects in here. I don't usually do it very often, maybe like once a month or even once every month and a half or so. But I just like to stay on top of it. Well, I got everything sprayed and I am pretty much done in here for today. I still need to put up my tools and do a little cleanup. Then I'll probably just go in the house. There's not really a whole lot more I can do outside and take you guys along with me because it's so windy. So I'll probably wrap up the video for today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next video. Thank you for watching.